Just 1 point away from home ice advantage in the opening round. VGK goes back on top in the Pacific Division by 5 points after LA is upset at home by the Kraken 2-1. Golden Knights looking to widen the lead and get closer to clinching the division. Just 5 games remaining. And that's it. VGK playing against the Avs in Colorado tonight. We'll have more ahead on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Tony Cordasco, longtime sportscaster and marketing consultant, along with Chris Gawlik, collectibles editor for the Hockey News, owner of Silver State Cards and Sports, VGK season ticket holder, and all of that. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You could find us wherever you get your podcast, and please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. Ahead on today's show, we'll have the 7th Player Award. Could be tightly contested this year, Chris, and our locks and predictions for tonight's game. We are brought to you today by Monarch Money. Go to Monarch Money, use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL, monarchmoney.com for 50% off of your first year. So just 1 point away, Chris, from getting home ice advantage in the first round. What did I say on the show a number of times, right? All these teams seem to creep up on VGK, and then historically the Golden Knights just turn on the afterburners. They find another gear, and now they lead Los Angeles by 5 points in the Pacific Division, and just 1 point away tonight from home ice advantage in the first round. It's a pretty big game for VGK.
For sure. I mean, we talk about throughout the season about points left on the table. We've talked a few times where the Golden Knights have let a late lead up and things like that. And you go back to last season, obviously, you had what happened against the Anaheim Ducks at the end of the year, which led to the Golden Knights facing off against the Dallas Stars in their eventual elimination. So every point matters, and it's a reminder in early April how much every point matters.
Any more trick shots in store for VGK? Back-to-back games with those puck luck goals. We'll see tonight. It's been a big factor down the stretch.
Put pucks on the net. Put pucks on the net.
Well, you're not even putting them on the net. They're putting them in front of the net, off skates, off the back of a goalie, and what have you. So we'll see what VGK has in store tonight. Hey, have we heard any word on Tomas Hertl and his return? Because he's on this road trip, but we haven't heard anything because there was no presser yesterday with Bruce Cassidy. You think they'll hold him out here for another day or two?
I mean, I feel like they wouldn't have brought him on this trip if there wasn't a chance of him playing today in this game. Like we talked about, I think on Friday's episode, easier to do your recovery and rehab and everything you need to do at home at City National whenever you want to get on the ice versus when you're on the road, you're at the mercy of the team schedule and other things like that. So I would have to assume it's likely he goes tonight, but the Golden Knights also had a nice weekend where if things don't go well tonight in Colorado, it's not the end of the world. So maybe you'll need to rush him as well.
Yeah, I was reading something on Mile High Sticking. They reported the Avalanche have dressed a league high 47 players this season. That's a league high. So a lot of trades and such. Yeah, okay, the violin there is out this morning. Injuries and such and what have you. That's been the story for this team. And it's a new look team from the last time VGK faced the Avalanche, with players now like Brock Nelson, Charlie Coyle from the Bruins, defenseman Eric Johnson from Philly, a couple of my Rangers they took away, and Ryan Lindgren, Jimmy Vesey from New York. So it's a new look team, and that's partially one of the reasons why they have dressed so many players. And it's hard to find consistency and the chemistry word when you have all these players shuttling in and out of the lineup.
The Avalanche are, to me, of the Central, what the Kings are in the Pacific. I think the Los Angeles Kings are still a very tough team, and they're going to be a very tough out in the Pacific Division. I think the Avalanche are a tougher team than the LA Kings, and it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the Western Conference is so deep with your top, 5 or 6 teams right now, and even with what St. Louis is doing right now, and you got 7 of 8 of the playoff teams that are bona fide Cup contenders, but the Avalanche are the team that I think scares me the most in the Western Conference. And tonight, I don't know if it's a measuring stick or a barometer or whatever terminology you want to use. I don't know how much either team necessarily shows tonight because the Golden Knights are in a good spot for the division. They're not there yet. They're in a good spot. I don't know if they're 1 point away, though. I think my math is a few more points than that. But either way, it's pretty close as far as
home ice advantage, Chris. For home ice advantage, not the
home ice, not the division. Understood.
Yeah,
my bad. Cheers. I'm on the road. I don't have all my computers in front of me and stuff.
Where are you?
I'm in my hotel in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm bowling tournaments. Bad decisions. That's our bowling team. Bad decisions.
Bad decisions.
Yeah, it ends with the shirts. It's all downhill after that.
Yeah, you should be modeling that for everyone out there. And then, of course, the loss of Mikko Rantanen for this Colorado Avalanche team, a player that said he did not want to leave, and then he makes a couple of jumps after he leaves. And Nathan MacKinnon, 115 points so far. Cale Makar, his consistent self, 91 points. Look for him to get a goal tonight. And then they have Martin Necas. I think he's hurt right now with 81 points for this team, and they're going to be very difficult. Hey, have you heard the news about Gabe Landeskog might be coming back for the playoffs? That's right, because he hasn't played. It's hard to believe it's this long ago, since June of 2022. And so he's going to be playing for that Colorado Eagles team. I wonder if they're playing Henderson. That would be a good game to see, to go check him out in rehab. But it'd be a great addition, but who knows what he has in the tank.
Gabe Landeskog's been almost close to returning for like a year now. I think he's been skating on and off, but I don't know the logistics of his injury, but you certainly hope he can get back on the ice. I mean, all this time away from the game, yes, Makar and Nate MacKinnon are who they are, but Landeskog is the leader of that team. And it would be a huge, huge jump if he can be a 50% shadow of himself early on in the playoffs. And of course, if he got a lot better throughout.
So who goes in net tonight for VGK? Will it be Aiden Hill? Will it be Akira Schmid? Schmid came up pretty strong. I thought I saw a video of Samsonov back at home on the ice and skating. So that's a good sign, I guess, for VGK. But I'm wondering who goes in net. And then Colorado, equally a decision to make between Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood. And Blackwood has really found a home, other than giving up 4 consecutive goals to St. Louis on Saturday night. They gave up 4. It was 4-0, and then rally time, and they wound up losing to the Avalanche to St. Louis, that red-hot team. 5-4 was the final there. But in that tonight, it's going to be pretty interesting. And I think that you'd have to admit that Colorado has definitely improved its goaltending there over what they had in the past.
I mean, you don't have a goalie. You don't have a goalie nicknamed Forgiev in the net. I mean, let's start there right now. The original question was about the goaltending tonight. A case could be made to run Schmidt out there tonight and give Aiden a little bit of additional rest right now. And I don't know how much of that goes into the competitive advantage stuff by not having your starting goaltender go against the Avalanche, because they could wind up meeting sometime. I mean, I think the Western Conference goes through Vegas and/or Colorado, or both, obviously. So a case could be made not to put Aiden out there tonight. Like you said, 1 point from home ice, not the Pacific, like you said earlier. So they're going to get 1 point between now and the next few games, obviously. That's not going to be in the balance by any means. In the division, I mean, it's never safe, but a 5-point gap with 5 points to go. Now the magic number 10-5 was like, what, 4 or 5, something like that. And the Golden Knights have the wins in regulation edge, at least right now. I think there's a 3 wins in regulation gap, if you will, between them and the Kings. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was Schmidt. Hill's probably still likely, but I think there's a strong case for Schmidt in the totality of the situation.
Yeah, so it is a 5-point spread now, 5-point lead for VGK. And every time a team gets close to the Golden Knights, they just seem to pull away. This has been tradition here. For the Golden Knights, 5 games remaining, 4 for Colorado. And the LA Kings now trying to hang on for dear life. They're in that battle in the Pacific. And every night you have to come to play in the NHL. Kraken upsetting them last night. The Kings in Los Angeles, 2-1. Coming up next, a difficult choice perhaps for the 7th player award. We finally have a little bit of a contest here, Chris, and we'll get to that. Tony Cordasco and Fred Flintstone, aka Chris Gawlik, back with more right after this on Locked On Golden Knights. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? This is something here in Vegas that happens all the time between dining out, online shopping, entertainment. There's so much and so many ways, I should say, to lose track. And that's where Monarch Money comes in. It is your personal CFO, and it doesn't do a lot there as far as just keeping a monitor on your money. You can track all your accounts, investments, spending all in one place. So you stop just managing your money and you start to build your wealth as well. And when I started to use Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on everything, including food delivery. Now I budget smarter and I save a lot more. It's all in one convenience. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever before, so you can track all of your shared expenses and your personal accounts. You can set goals and you could stay on the same page without a lot of the stress. So take control of your finances now. Go to Monarch Money. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL at monarchmoney.com and you'll get 50% off of your first year. That's, again, monarchmoney.com. Use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you will receive 50% off your first year. Use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL, 50% off of your first year at monarchmoney.com. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cordasco and the very fuzzy Chris Gawlik from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You were at a skating rink, huh, yesterday?
Yeah, I forgot the team name. They play in the Federal Prospects Hockey League.
Huh.
And I forgot the name of the team, but they play in the Federal Prospects Hockey League. They're going to make the playoffs, I guess. And it's actually a really nice barn. It was a really, really cool barn, probably similar to Henderson, to Lee's Family Forum, where the Silver Knights play, but maybe a little more character, I guess you can say.
Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. And don't forget, on Fridays, it is WTF What the Friday. The VGK end of season awards, they're typically predictable, right? But I feel like the vote could be getting split here this year for the 7th player award. So the candidates, Brett Howden, Keegan Colasar, Braden McNabb. And I feel that, if we had the odds board up there, I feel that Howden would be the favorite right now. 22 goals on the season, a surprise season, if you will, more than twice of his career best in goals scored. And we well chronicled over the summer about him and Keegan Colasar getting together, working out an awful lot, and coming back in just tip-top shape. And Colasar, he's cooled off, but he has scored 40 points this season. That's 40 more than I thought he would score. And our preseason unsung hero all the time, Braden McNabb, the guy that does all the dirty work, 155 block shots. You know where I'm going here, 126 hits. He's a plus 36 currently and 3rd in the league. I know that the fan vote will probably go in the direction of Howden, but man, my vote has to go to McNabb. He's consistent, and he's the Iron Man of this team. What are your thoughts?
McNabb is McNabb, and unsung hero is much better than the seventh player award, I think. Kolasar had some great moments earlier in the season. He's cooled off, and not that he's cooled off as far as he's not playing well. He's just more in that fourth line energy type of role. But it was who are the replacements going to be? That's what happened in the offseason, right? You look at all the players that left. The first storyline was, okay, how do the Golden Knights replace 40-plus goals from Jonathan Marchessault leaving? And then you look at Chandler Stevenson and all the other players. That was the focus. But Michael Amadio, what he has done for the Golden Knights for the last few seasons since he arrived, he's a Swiss Army knife. You can put him as a top line center if you need to. It's not the best place for him, but he could in a pinch in the spell type of role. He could play second line wing. He can play fourth line wing. He can play third line center. Brett Howden has taken on that role while also keeping the energy side of his game up, while keeping the grinder side of his game going. Win your races, win your battles, right? And oh yeah, by the way, dude's got 22 goals this year on a $3.5 million AAV coming up next season or something like that. So Golden Knights got lucky with the way this contract worked out, and hopefully he continues to produce like this. But you mentioned the odds board. I would say I would say not McNabb. I would say Howden is probably about minus 450 right now.
Wow. I'm going against the chalk. This isn't the NCAA tournament. So hopefully McNabb gets some votes. I'm stumping for McNabb today. Jack Eichel, he probably wins the first star award again. This would be a three-peat for Jack Eichel, where they add up all the stars from home ice and what have you. So Eichel for sure has to be there again. And he's going through a bit of a funk right now, 4 games without any points.
Yeah, it's a little bit uncharacteristic right now. And the good thing is Golden Knights won 2 of those games. So that's certainly, if the Golden Knights can find paths to winning games without Jack Eichel getting points or being a part of the scoring, then, it's okay. And I don't know how much that century mark matters to Jack. It's certainly going the wrong direction down the stretch, unfortunately, now. But at the end of the day, I'm not too worried about this funk. I mean, there were some reports out of Calgary where he didn't necessarily travel with the team and he got there late. I don't know if that was injury related, personal related. I don't know. But it could be all in the blender of whatever's happening with him right now. And if it's personal, you hope everything's okay in his personal life. If it's health, you hope everything, obviously, he gets back to 100%. I mean, it's game 78. No one's 100% right now.
Did you bowl yesterday?
No, I didn't bowl yesterday. I bowl. I bowl in a couple hours, actually.
What's your bowling average?
When I was bowling regularly, I was in the 220s, but now I'm. So if I bowl the league now, I'd probably be in the 2 teams.
So over under 201 and a hook. What's the total going to be today?
All right, so picture for the golfers out there. No, hold on. Can you hear me? Am I okay?
Yeah, you're all over the map, but that's okay. Keep talking, bro.
For the golfers out there, really quickly, you go to your park district course, maybe a par 3 or something like that. You par, maybe a few birdies, and then you go out there and think you know what you're doing. Then you go to Augusta, and you get your teeth kicked in. That's what the Nationals experience is. There's so much to it, and I'm not going to bore everyone with all the details, but it is beyond a professional environment as far as what you got to do to score, and it's very difficult. Very difficult. If I can average in the 160s, the 165 range, it'll be a great 9 days.
Will this be beer induced? We have to ask, of course. Yeah, perhaps.
No, harder. No beer. I'd pull something, but anyway.
Okay. The Vegas Strong Service Award, Community Service Award. So Jack Eichel won it last year. This is another tightly contested category. Riley Smith a couple of years ago. So does Smith wrest that back now that he's back here in Vegas from Eichel? And we're still wondering who the captain of the softball team's going to be this summer. Is it going to be back to Riley Smith?
Eichel versus Smith. Let's go. No, it's Jack Eichel. I don't know if Riley Smith's going to be back next year, but it's Eichel.
You think Eichel will still be? You think Eichel wins that award too for his community service? I don't remember anything.
Yeah, I mean,
what's he done earth-shattering though? I don't remember very many very many, events or what have you that the Golden Knights did this past year that would make an impact. But we might have a
He's
surprise.
very in with Best Buds. He's very in with Best Buddies and does a lot of work with them. Very visible, constantly in community with Best Buddies. I'm sure he does other things too, but Best Buddies is certainly where the PR comes from, so to speak. And the work he does with them is just absolutely remarkable. He has such a deep relationship with them, and it's not just a camera type of thing. It's, you can tell when he's genuinely interacting with that charity and that group and everything, that it goes beyond simply just checking a box. It's not at all who Jack Eichel is when it comes to his work with that charity.
And you can vote online through Wednesday. Again, just go to the VGK website, and I think it's pretty interesting here and some good categories this year. Usually we know who the winners are going to be well in advance, but check it out. Coming up next, we've got our locks and predictions for tonight's game. VGK skating at Colorado in Denver. More after this on Locked On Golden Knights. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all that you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other sites. Indeed sponsored jobs. It puts your post at the top of the page, and it helps you to reach the right candidates faster. So I can tell you that I am often in a predicament where, as an independent contractor and owner of my own company, I'm looking for some talent, and I need somebody, and I need to hire someone, and I need to do it very fast. I've been in the spot before where you need the right hire like yesterday. So the pressure's on, and every day without the right person is a setback. That's exactly when Indeed's sponsored jobs come in handy. They make sure that your post is seen by the right candidates. And you can right now speed up the hiring process with a $75 sponsored job credit. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon and support our show, Locked On Golden Knights, by saying that you heard about Indeed on this very podcast. Again, terms and conditions apply. If you are hiring, Indeed is all you need. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cordasco from Las Vegas, Chris Gawlik reporting. He's on assignment, as we like to say on the show, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And he's got that really cool bowling shirt there. We appreciate everyone making us your first listen every day. I'm just kind of watching your phone go all over the map. Of course, don't forget on Fridays.
Yeah, I already located.
Fridays, WTF. Saturdays, of course, it is sometimes the Chris and Chris Jr. show. So it is that time. It is time for our locks and predictions for tonight's game. So I'm going to go, I'm not going chalk because, well, it would have been chalk a few days ago, but 4 games without a point for Jack Eichel. And I feel like he's going to break out. He'll break through. I will take Eichel. I will take McNabb, unsung hero-ish, and I'm going to go 4-3 for the Avalanche. So Jack Eichel is stuck on 93 points. And we saw that he was 0 for Canada. He was 0 for Canada. And so he didn't score any points. So now he's back stateside. And so he didn't score any points in Edmonton, in Winnipeg, in Calgary, and in Vancouver. But I really do feel that right now we're going to see Jack Eichel break through. And I think that we might have lost Chris once and for all. So we'll get his locks and predictions, hopefully. But does Jack Eichel, now with 5 games remaining, does he go on a scoring spree? Another player to watch out for tonight, of course, is the Big O, Victor Olofsson. He was goalless son before he broke through in the last game on the road in Vancouver. And Olofsson took it was 14 shots. So he had the game in which he had 9 shots on net, and then he comes back and he has another 5, and finally on shot number 14 he finally does score a goal. So that was pretty cool to see him score. And Bruce Cassidy wanted his players to shoot the puck a lot more, and now we see Olofsson where he's starting to just listen to to his head coach, and then, of course, doing a lot of other things as well. And that IKEA line is really starting to pick things up. So that's pretty cool. It's good to see there for the Golden Knights. Hey, did you see? Maybe we'll get Chris back. Maybe we won't. Who knows? He's, of course, probably out the lanes already. But did you see yesterday? I wanted to bring this up with Chris. So Budweiser sent out, they have this new brand called Bud Zero, okay? And so Bud Zero, they sent out commemorative cans to goaltenders who did not allow an Alex Ovechkin goal. And I was really shocked to see that one of the people that they sent out one of these commemorative cans to was none other than Akira Schmid. So Schmid, 8 games without giving up an Ovechkin goal. And it's a good thing that Ovi didn't have like a rehab start in Henderson against Schmid, because he wasn't very good there. And so, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. That was really cool. And congrats, I guess, to Akira Schmid. 8 games without giving up an Ovechkin goal. And then you see just every other goalie, perhaps, in the history of the NHL that played during that span. I know Marc-Andre Fleury, he was mad. He said he didn't want anyone. He wouldn't want to be the goaltender that gave up the breaking goal there to Alex Ovechkin. And he said, yeah, there's no way I want to be that guy. Ilya Sorokin was that guy. And yeah, kudos again to Akira Schmid. So big game coming up tonight for VGK. And once again, just 1 point away from home ice advantage in the opening round. And that's so big here because we know what the Golden Knights can do here at the Fortress, how successful they have been. VGK, again, up by 5 points in the Pacific Division after that lead had dwindled down to 1. We had those back-to-back losses here in Vegas for the VGK. Bruce Cassidy said that he was concerned, and then they just cleaned up a lot of things and really got very lucky, and they were very fortunate to escape Calgary and Vancouver with victories after a couple of really fluke goals there that helped them out. But again, just throw the puck on net, and amazingly, good things will happen. And again, the Kings losing to the Kraken last night, and the final there was 2-1. I watched towards the end of that game, and all I saw were a lot of pucks that were deflected, and they just didn't get the job done. So we'll get Chris's predictions later on. Of course, they will be up there on our X account at Locked On VGK, and we'll have much more coming your way tomorrow. On tomorrow's show, we will definitely be bringing you all of the recaps and everything else from tonight's game. We're wondering if once and for all, we will be seeing, back in action. Will Tomas Hertl be back for the Vegas Golden Knights? Who's the netminder? We don't get much information again when the Golden Knights are on the road. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. Again, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. And don't forget, for a second listen, you need to check out Locked On Game Night. It's every game, every night. There are recaps, and it's a really good show. You need to find it at Locked On NHL on the Locked On Network. For my man, Chris Gawlik, hopefully he'll bowl very well today, and we'll find a good spot there for him to report for us tomorrow. Sean Woodley helping us out on the production side today. We definitely appreciate you. For my man, Chris Gawlik, I am Tony Cordasco from Las Vegas. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights, and please take care.